is the distribution of earthquakes. As in the previous chapter I was explaining to you, I said that volcanoes and earthquakes are brothers and sisters. Exactly, whichever place volcanic eruption takes place in those areas will be earthquake prone as well. So eventually you see the earthquake belts will be similar to that of the volcanic belts. Okay. Now, when we talk about these, so the minor or less destructive earthquakes occur more frequently than the major ones. Means every day there is some or the other earthquake somewhere because the intensity is very less. So we do not come to know. Only when the magnitude is very high, then and when our house or buildings or the earth shakes, then we experience. Otherwise, normal earthquakes occur frequently, time to time. Okay. So the earthquake in the world are associated with the zones of the young fold mountains like the Alps, the Himalayas, okay. The zones of the faulting and fractures where most strongly the tectonic plates are moving or the boulders are moving. The zones representing the junction of the continental and the oceanic margin means wherever there are coastal areas. The zones of active volcanoes, wherever places active volcanoes are erupting, and along the different plate boundaries. Okay, wherever like the Indianic plate boundaries or the European plate boundaries, okay, and the American plate boundaries, such kind of boundaries. Okay, here earthquakes are quite frequent. Now we talk about the main seismic belts. Okay, the first we have is the Circum-Pacific belt. Includes the coastal margins of North America, South America, and East Asia. These are these areas represent the eastern and western margins of the Pacific Ocean, respectively. Okay, and account for about 65% of the total earthquakes on the world. So the western marginal zones are represented by the Rockies and the Andes mountain chains, and the eastern margins represent the island arcs of Kamchatka, Sakhalin, Japan, and Philippines. Okay. Second, you have the mid-continental belt, which includes the Alpine mountains and their offshoot in Europe, Mediterranean Sea, Northern Africa, Eastern Africa, and the Himalayas. The mid-continent belt extends through the Suleiman and Tirthar zones in the west, the Himalayas in the north, and Myanmar in the east. This belt also represents the weaker zone of the fold mountains. About 21% of the total seismic events are recorded in this belt. The Himalayan region is a zone of maximum intensity and it is gradually rising at the rate of 5 centimeters per year. This causes earthquakes in India, Tibet, and Japan. Recently, last year, so a few years back, you must have seen that Nepal had earthquakes. Okay. Now, thirdly, we have is the Mid-Atlantic Ridge Belt. Includes the Mid-Atlantic Ridge and several islands near the ridge. It records moderate earthquakes which caused due to the moving of plates in the opposite directions. Okay. This thus the sea floor spreading are the fissure type of volcanic eruptions cause earthquakes of moderate intensity in this region. So these are the main areas where earthquakes occur. And you must have also seen when I had taught the chapter of volcanoes, these same belts were there, and obviously wherever volcanic eruptions are occurring, in those areas, obviously there will be cracks in the tectonic plates as well, and obviously that area will be having earthquakes also. So most probably these two are same, the volcanic area belts and the earthquake belts. Okay. Okay. When earthquake occurs, obviously there are several effects. Effects are of two types: good effects as well as bad effects. Okay. Now, the intensity of an earthquake and its hazardous impacts are determined not on the basis of the magnitude on the Richter scale, but on the basis of the extent of the damages which are occurred to human life and property. Okay. The direct and indirect effect on the earthquake includes deformation of ground surfaces, damages, etc., etc. So, first of all, I tell you, suppose if an earthquake occurs in a desert with an intensity of 8 Richter scale. 8 is very, very dangerous. And what will happen? Only the dust will go up and down out, and after some time the earthquake is over. No damages, no property broken, nothing. So for us, this kind of earthquake will be safe. But if in the cities, if an earthquake occurs at the intensity of 4 Richter scale only. Means see, desert it was 8, here it is 4, less. But lots of buildings fall, many human beings die, dams are broken, floods occur, and lots of lives are taken. So for this kind of an earthquake, it will be considered more dangerous for us. We will measure it as more dangerous. So the dangerous of an earthquake does not depend upon the intensity of the earthquake, but according to the damages caused to man and property. Now, as I told you, that effects of the earth will be of two types. Okay. Firstly, we will talk about the destructive effects, which cause damages. Now, in destructive effects, you will see deformation of ground surfaces. The earthquake tremors result in the deformation of ground surfaces due to the rise and subsidence of the ground surface and faulting activity. The alluvial fill area of the floodplains get fractured at several places. Means the grounds break up and the farmlands and all, they are all made uneven. Then damages to man-made structures. Man-made structures such as buildings, roads, rails, factories, dams, bridges, etc. get severely damaged. Okay. Thirdly, the damage to towns and cities. The towns and the cities, the worst effect is occurred due to the high intensity of building and population. Under the impact of tremors, large buildings collapse and men and women get buried under the debris. Debris means malba. Okay. Groundwater pipes are damaged and thus water supply is totally disturbed. Electric poles and telephone wires are damaged and the collapse of severe systems cause epidemics. Severe system means like those manholes, gutters. When these get damaged, the dirty water and slug will be spread around and these called diseases which results into epidemics. Is Mahamari what we call. Okay. Then, loss of humans and animal life. The destructive power of an earthquake depends upon the loss it can cause in terms of loss of life and property. Like the Bhuj earthquake of India in 2001. It was at a Richter scale of 8.1. At least 1 lakh human beings died. Casualties were 1 lakh human beings died in that. Okay. Then the devastating fires. Earthquakes can cause fire in houses, mines, factories due to the bursting of gas cylinders, contact with live electric wires, churning of blast furnaces, displacement of other electric and fire-related appliances. 2 oil refineries in Turkey were destroyed by fire caused by the earthquakes in 1999. Landslides. The tremors in hilly and the mountainous areas can cause instability of unconsolidated rock materials. This ultimately leads to landslides, which damages settlements which are built under the mountains. Okay. If huge rocks and boulders will fall from the mountains, they will roll down and they will damage all the houses living there. House will be damaged and people will also die. Thirdly next is the flash floods. Very strong seismic events can result in the collapse of dams, and dams have huge quantities of water. Once a dam breaks and with force all the water which rushes down, it causes floods. It will take away the cities and villages along with it. Okay. Floods are also caused with the debris produced by tremor blocks of flow of water in the river. Sometimes the main cause of the course of the river is changed due to the blockage. And lastly, we talk about tsunami. When the seismic waves travel through sea water, high sea waves are generated, which can cause great loss of life and property, especially in the coastal areas. Since the Circum-Pacific belt is associated with volcanoes and earthquakes, tsunamis are common in the Pacific Ocean. Okay? So when we talk about the effects, we also come to the constructive effects as well. Okay? The earthquakes, apart from having destructive effects, are also considered as constructive movements by this earth scientist. Now, for example, over a period of time, a large amount of energy is stored up in the earth. This stored up energy is released along the plate boundaries by the earthquakes. This activity helps the earth in keeping itself in proper shape. First advantage. Secondly, the landslide caused by the earthquakes can form depression. Depression means large holes or pits in the ground, which are formed as lakes. These are many such lakes in the Himalayan mountains. Okay. Then the coastal areas can possibly be uplifted or subsided by an earthquake. This may lead to the formation of new landforms. And lastly, the earthquake waves are the main source of collecting data about the structure and interiors of the earth. Because the largest man-made hole is 8 kilometers deep only. And if we need to know about the earth, obviously we will have to go deep into the earth. And if we go deep or something from deep comes out, it is all the same. And that is how we get all the information of what is going on inside. Okay, children? So this completes your chapter number 8. I hope you have benefited by this chapter. Now children, if you see page 63 and page 64, certain exercises have been given. So it is my humble request to you all to please go through, or you can do these exercises in your pair copy which you will be making. It is very important for all of you to make your notes, because children at present we are not available with you to guide you. Okay, but whatever information we are giving you, you can see these videos one after another again repeatedly. You can see them on your phones by putting your earplugs in your ear. Okay, by listening to these several times also you will get all the information. And if you start writing in your copies, it is very important. Don't stay at home. If you stay at home and act lazy, you will lose your capacity to write. Okay, once you come back to school and you start writing, your hands will pain. So it is very important that you keep your exercises ready. Always make notes, write as much as you can. Okay, this will help you to pass your time also, and at the same time you will gain knowledge as well. Okay children, so best of luck to you. Please do your work nicely and stay safe at home. Okay, bye.